So good afternoon, everyone. Kamit pala ako, no? Today's topic will be regarding cartilage and bone, no? These are two of your specialized connective tissues we didn't discuss before. So dadaanan natin siya ngayon, no? Maingay ba yung fan? Wala kasing aircon ngayon dito, so I have to use the fan. Kaya medyo nililipat ako. Okay, anyway. Today's topic will be regarding cartilage, no? Cartilage is a specialized type of connective tissue that is said to be tough and durable because of its characteristic extracellular matrix. No, yung extracellular matrix ng cartilage natin, kakaiba siya because it contains large amounts of molecules called glycosaminoglycans and proteoglycans. No, glycosaminoglycans and proteoglycans. Okay? So, if you break down this word, may glycan dito, may glyco dito, that refers to the presence of carbohydrates, and may amino dito, that refers to the presence of protein components. No? In the same manner, your proteoglycans, merong protein, merong carbohydrate components. So, these are conjugated compounds, no? Conjugation siya ng carbohydrates and proteins, no? That gives your cartilage its firmness and durability. Okay? So, anong function ng cartilage? Because they're tough and durable, their function actually in cushioning or shock absorption. Your cartilage, because of its ECM, is able to bear stress without much distortion due to the firm but resilient characteristic of the extracellular matrix, no? Yung joints natin, for example, 'di ba siya yung key example natin ng kung saan mo makikita yung cartilage mo na tissue, no? Your joints are able to bear stress without much distortion because of these characteristics. Okay? Uh, and another thing, your cartilage decreases friction, no, between two bones, no, because of the smooth surface afforded by the cartilage. Um, dahil smooth yung surface, syempre, yung kiskisa nila, it's less likely to cause damage. It allows sliding of bones, lalo na doon sa mga sliding joints natin. And it also facilitates bone movement. Okay? Your cartilage also guides the development of long bones. Yung long bones natin kasi, meron siyang pwede silang humaba longitudinally, no? Especially if you are familiar with the epiphyseal plate, yun yung part of the bone where the bone gets, your long bones get longer, no? It's a cartilaginous area kung saan yun yung humahaba, or while that epiphyseal plate is open, you can still grow taller. When it closes, na-reach mo na yung max height mo. No? So it guides, your cartilage also serves as a scaffolding for bone development. Okay? Your cartilage, ang main cell niya are called chondrocytes, no? Chondro is the prefix that you associate with cartilage. Chondro refers to cartilage, okay? And then cartilage cells, no? Your cartilage cells synthesize and maintain the extracellular matrix. The extracellular matrix containing these gags and proteoglycans, no? Cartilage cells are located in the matrix cavities called lacunae, okay? So, anong itsura ng other characteristics pala of your cartilage? You have to remember that your cartilage is similar to your epithelial tissue in that it lacks direct vascular supply. Okay? Its blood supply, its oxygen supply is from capillaries in surrounding connective tissue. Similar to your epithelium, di ba? Yung blood supply ng epithelium mo nandun sa connective tissue underneath the basement membrane. Dito, if you have a cartilage, Kunyari, ito cartilage tissue yan. Sa gilid niya, merong dense irregular connective tissue referred to as perichondrium. Okay? Chondro, cartilage. So, peri, di ba? It's peripheral. So, nasa gilid nung cartilage mo, nung chondrium mo, is connective tissue. So, this is the dense connective tissue that contains the capillaries, that contains the blood vessels that supply nutrients to your cartilage, no? Tapos, from there, the nutrients from the blood vessels will diffuse into the cartilage proper, okay? Your perichondrium also harbors a small neural component. Hindi masyadong maraming nerves in cartilage tissue, no? So, lack or small amount, it only has a very small amount of nerve supply. Depende sa cartilage, no? Some of them, wala talaga. Okay? So, anong itsura ng extracellular matrix ng cartilage natin? We have to discuss that kasi yung extracellular matrix, yung special characteristics yung nagbibigay ng special characteristics sa cartilage natin, no? It varies in composition depending on the type of cartilage, but there are several key components that are consistent, no? The first of which is the presence of your type 2 collagen, di ba? Sabi natin, in the types of collagen, type 1 is bone, type 2 is cartilage, di ba? Cartilage yan. So, cartilage, ibig sabihin, na main type of collagen you see in cartilage is collagen type 2. Okay? We also see glycosaminoglycans and proteoglycans. Ito, si hyaluronan and proteoglycans, as well as water. Okay? Maraming water yung cartilage natin. Kaya siya flexible or malleable. Hindi siya sobrang 100% hard kasi merong water. Okay? So, it's pliable rather. That's the key word, no? Na mold siya rather than being stiff. Your cartilage is tough, uh, but at the same time pliable because of the presence of water. Okay? So, anong itsura ng extracellular matrix ng cartilage natin? You look here, have a closer look at the cartilage extracellular matrix, no? You have plenty of collagen type 2 fibrils, itong kulay pink. You have your hyaluronan, which is a glycosaminoglycan. And then you have your proteoglycans. Itong maliliit na short color green strands there. Okay? These proteoglycans are attached to something called link proteins. Itong mahabang to. The link proteins are attached to the hyaluronan na mahaba sa gitna. Okay? Yung proteoglycans na to, sila naman yung nagbabond sa type 2 collagen fibrils. Yung dulo nila contains a glycosaminoglycan called chondroitin sulfate that binds it to the type 2 collagen fibril. So, ganun yung itsura ng matrix nitong uh, ating mga cartilage. Okay? That's the general form. Pero yung, syempre, for the different types of cartilages, merong additional molecules you have to take into account. So, we will discuss that also. Okay? So, let's go first to the first type of cartilage, your hyaline cartilage. No? Bakit siya tinawag na hyaline cartilage? Because hyalos is the Greek word for glass. This cartilage looks semi-transparent and homogeneous in fresh state. Okay, when you just harvested it, mukha siyang glass, mukha siyang semi-transparent. Okay, hyaline cartilage is the most common type of cartilage. You see it all over the body. The locations are, of course, una sa lahat, the articular surface of movable joints. No, when you have a joint, you have a bone number 1, you have a bone number 2. Yung pagkakadikit nila, you refer to it as articulation, no? So, the articular surface of these bones, usually meron silang cartilage cap dyan, no? That makes the surface smooth, no? So, the articular surface of movable joints mostly have cartilage, as you can see here in these images, no? You also see your cartilage in the walls of your larger respiratory passages. Sa may trachea, sa may bronchi, no? And you also see hyaline cartilage in the ventral ends of your ribs, ito, in the costal cartilages, diba? If you have the manubrium of your sternum, body of your sternum, dito may mga nakakabit na ribs dyan, no? Okay? So when the ribs are attached to the side, what attaches the ribs? There is cartilage in between. Okay? Attaching the ribs to the sternum. We call those cartilages the costal cartilages. Okay? You also see hyaline cartilage in the epiphyseal plate of long bone. Dito yung nangyayari, sinasabi natin, for longitudinal bone growth. So, for example, this is a long bone. Parts of your long bone, this is the diaphysis. Yung dulo is the epiphysis. Okay? Between the diaphysis and epiphysis, you see a line called the epiphyseal plate. Okay? Kung ito, kunyari, femur mo, when you are growing taller, saan humahaba ang bones mo? Dito sa may epiphyseal plate. Okay? So, when their epiphyseal plates close, eventually you will reach that means you've reached your maximum height, no? So, tumatangad ka pa hanggang hindi pa sarado yung epiphyseal plate at hindi pa siya napapalitan ng compact bone. Okay? Next, another function of your hyaline cartilage is as the temporary skeleton in the embryo. So, madidiscuss natin to later on during osteogenesis kung paano yung role ng cartilage natin sa uh, sa pag-develop ng bones sa katawan. Okay? So, ano yung itsura ng structure ng ating hyaline cartilage and what makes it different from the other types of cartilage, no? Hyaline cartilage has a specific molecule called aggrecan. This aggrecan tends to hold a lot of water. In fact, 75% of your hyaline cartilage is made up of water. Kaya rin siya semi-transparent, no? Because there's a lot of water in it, okay? There's also the presence of chondronectin that allows the adherence of the chondrocytes to the extracellular matrix. Okay, so ito yung special components that you have to remember as far as your hyaline cartilage is concerned, no? Sa structure naman ng hyaline cartilage, makikita natin siya dito sa gilid. This is the general layout kung paano sila nakikita sa katawan natin, no? So you have your perichondrium. Di ba sabi natin, the perichondrium is a layer of dense irregular connective tissue at the periphery covering your hyaline cartilage. No, it's a sheath covering the hyaline cartilage. Your perichondrium actually has two major layers. No, your outer fibrous layer and your inner cellular layer. The outer fibrous layer is mostly similar to your other dense irregular connective tissue. It contains type 1 collagen, it contains fibroblasts, it contains blood vessels. Okay? Pero dun sa inner layer, meron tayong makikita doon. These are the primitive chondrocytes or yung precursor of your chondrocytes, yung tinatawag nating chondroblasts. Okay? These chondroblasts, when they grow older, they go to the center of the cartilage and become chondrocytes. Okay? So, next. Okay? So, your chondrocytes, nandito na tayo sa gitna since na-discuss na natin yung perichondrium. Sa gitna, your chondrocytes are described as having small, round nuclei and having shrunken, pale staining cytoplasm. So, ito yung itsura ng ating mga chondrocytes, no? And surrounding your and when you see these chondrocytes in groups, you call the clusters or the groups as isogenous group. So ito, magkakagrupo sila. This is an isogenous group. Okay? So this is another isogenous group. So, pag magkakagrupo yung chondrocyte mo, that's an isogenous group. Okay? The next, yung matrix or the ECM immediately surrounding a single chondrocyte or an isogenous group is called a territorial matrix. So itong kulay orange na to, sa paligid nitong isogenous group na to, this other darker orange is also a territorial matrix. But itong isang to is also a territorial matrix. But kahit sa individual chondrocytes, that's a territorial matrix. Yung darker orange color dito sa diagram. Okay? And then, we have something else called the interterritorial matrix naman. So that is the matrix that fills up everything else. Yung lahat ng nasa labas ng territorial matrix, yung pumupunong matrix doon, you called it the interterritorial matrix. So ito yung parang light yellow, orange, na dito yung background color nitong diagram natin ng hyaline cartilage. That's interterritorial matrix. Okay? So, anong itsura niya? In actual photomicrograph, you have here the perichondrium. Okay? And then, sa may gitna, doon mo makikita yung cartilage cells or your chondrocytes. Okay? Your chondrocytes are surrounded by in groups are isogenous groups. They're surrounded by territorial matrix. Surrounding your territorial matrix or yung dark purple areas na yan is the uh, interterritorial matrix. Okay? So more images on the next slide. You can see here. You have your perichondrium. Okay? Perichondrium. Dense irregular connective tissue. Closer to the chondrocytes, you have your chondroblasts. And then, dun sa gitna ng cartilage mismo, dun mo makikita yung chondrocytes. Okay? They can be in singly, pwede rin silang in isogenous groups. Okay? Surrounding those darker staining area surrounding these chondrocytes or groups is your territorial matrix. Okay? Okay, pag naka-group, isogenous group ang tawag. And then, everything else surrounding all these territorial matrices is your interterritorial matrix. Ano pala yung naisip ko? So, interterritorial matrix. Okay? So, in between the territorial matrices. Okay? So, here, other picture of your cartilage, no? You have your perichondrium on one side, another perichondrium on the other side. You have your uh, isogenous groups of your chondrocytes having small nuclei and pale staining cytoplasm. Okay? The territorial matrix is the dark purple staining area surrounding these chondrocytes or groups, and the lighter staining uh, area surrounding all these territorial matrices is your interterritorial matrix. Okay? So next, tapos na tayo sa hyaline cartilage. Now let's go to the next type of cartilage, which is your elastic cartilage. No, it's very similar to your hyaline cartilage. Pati yung layout niya, no, it's pretty much the same. Ang pinagkaiba lang ng elastic cartilage sa hyaline cartilage structure-wise is that there is the presence of elastic fibers in the matrix as well as there are more chondrocytes. Okay, so the presence of these two changes the characteristic of your cartilage. It makes it yellowish in color. Okay? So the presence of elastic fibers in elastic cartilage allows it to become flexible support for tissues that need stretching. So ano ba yung mga tissues that need stretching? Na kinakailangan ng elastic fibers na ginagamitan ng elastic cartilage, no? So the examples of locations wherein elastic cartilage is found is your epiglottis and your larynx, di ba? Yung epiglottis mo, yun yung tumatakip sa larynx mo. Para pag kumain ka ng pagkain, sabagay, may iba ka nakakainin. So, pag kumain ka, yung sinwalaw mo na food, hindi siya pupunta sa airway, okay? Tatakpan ng epiglottis mo, yung larynx mo, para hindi pumunta doon yung pagkain, para hindi ka mabilaukan, no? So, after mong mag-swallow, the epiglottis will open again, para pwede ka na ulit magsalita, okay? So, it's flexible. Pwede siyang i-close, pwede siyang i-open. No? Itong elastic cartilage natin. Okay? And then, you also have your auditory canal or tube, yung sa may initial portions, yung sa may tenga natin, as well as your pinna or auricle. Di ba yung pinna? Ito yung outer ear na nakikita mo, yung ear na nakikita mo sa labas. The ear that you see outside is made up of elastic cartilage, no? Kaya nga siya flexible at hindi siya nade-deform kahit pinguting ka pa, no? Hindi masisira yung elastic cartilage mo. Okay? So anong itsura ng elastic cartilage? Similar lang din. You have perichondrium, you have chondrocytes in the middle. Okay? Pero may characteristic na dinagdag na elastic fibers and there are a lot more cells. Okay? So, layout is pretty much the same, no? Ganun lang din. Perichondrium, chondrocytes are a lot. Sa gitna nila, may dinagdag tayo. These are your elastic fibers. Okay? Pero yung type 2 collagen, yung glycosaminoglycans, etc., meron pa rin yun dito sa elastic cartilage. Ang nadagdag is the presence of elastic fibers. Okay? So, next, you have your uh, photomicrograph of your elastic cartilage here, no? So this peripheral area is your perichondrium, okay? Nasa gitna yung chondrocytes, no? So yung chondrocytes, no, pag nakita mo dito sa ano natin, you will see that these chondrocytes are very numerous in comparison uh, to your uh, to your hyaline cartilage, di ba? Uh, ang dami no, nito, kumpara mo dito sa hyaline cartilage na hiwa-hiwalay sila, 'di ba? Very numerous yung chondrocytes. At the same time, you also see the presence of elastic fibers. So, hindi siya masyadong obvious dito, pero pag dito, makikita mo, there are elastic fibers running through the tissue. It's more appreciable in this image, no? Itong mga lines na to, these dark lines, gives your elastic cartilage a rough appearance, no? Uh, uh, because of the presence of elastic fibers in the matrix. Okay? So, yung tatandaan mo lang, may perichondrium pa rin, pero may additional elastic fibers and there are more chondrocytes. Okay? Next, you have your last type of cartilage, which is your fibrocartilage. Okay? Your fibrocartilage provides cushioning, firm support, and tensile strength to your cartilage, no? Yung fibrocartilage mo, ang tatandaan nyo dito, it lacks the perichondrium. Okay? It lacks the perichondrium. Walang perichondrium dito sa ating fibrocartilaginous tissue. Okay? So, hindi kagaya ng hyaline cartilage, hindi kagaya ng ng elastic cartilage, no? It's just fibrocartilage consisting mainly of type 2 and type 1 collagen. Okay? So where do you find this fibrocartilage? 'Di ba? You see it in the pubic symphysis, 'di ba? If you recall your anatomy, the pubic symphysis is a small fibrocartilage tissue in the middle of your pubic bone, di ba? Yun nasa gitnang ganyan. That's the pubic symphysis, okay? You also see it in the intervertebral discs. Kasi di ba yung vertebra natin, they are simply bones stacked on top of each other to form your vertebral column. Okay? Sa pagitan nun, meron tayong tinatawag na intervertebral disc. Okay? Your fibrocartilage also is seen in the insertion of tendons and your ligaments. Okay? So, this is fibrocartilage is seen in tissue that needs quite a lot of tensile strength. Kasi nga, your intervertebral disc carries the bulk of your weight. Your pubic symphysis, kailangan very strong yung integrity niyan kasi it keeps your pubic bones together. Okay? And your tendons and ligaments, syempre, ayaw naman natin silang nag-deter because it will inhibit your movement. It's also very painful, no? So, anong itsura ng fibrocartilage in tissue? Ah, anong pagkakaiba niya sa hyaline at sa elastic cartilage? Okay? So, ang tatandaan nyo dito, ang key characteristic of your fibrocartilage is the presence of type 1 collagen. Diba? Type 1 collagen, you see it in bone, you see it in the dentin of your teeth. So, itong type 1 collagen is the toughest of all the collagens there are. No? So, kaya yung presence ng type 1 collagen gives your fibrocartilage a lot of toughness and integrity. Okay? This the presence of this type 1 collagen also gives your matrix a dense and coarse appearance. Okay? As far as the chondrocytes are concerned naman, in fibrocartilage, iilan-ilan lang yung chondrocytes na makikita mo in tissue. And if you do see them, usually singly, if not, if they are in groups, you see them arranged in lacunae in small groups of in parallel rows or columns. So, magkakalinya sila when you see them in groups. Okay? Pero most of the time, you see them singly. Tigi-isa lang yung chondrocytes. Okay? So, ano yung tsura nito? Under the photomicrograph. So, see here, this is a specimen of fibrocartilage, no? Yung chondrocytes mo, pa isa-isa lang, mas marami yung collagen. Okay? You can see the collagen fibers. Okay? And if they are in groups, you see them in lacunae, arranged in rows or columns. Okay? So, ganun yung itsura ng fibrocartilage natin when you look at them under the microscope. So, how does cartilage form? So, the cartilage forms via chondrogenesis, no? So, your blast cells, 'di ba? Your cartilage is derived from the mesoderm, being connective tissue. So, from the mesoderm, there will be mesenchymal cells invading all over the body. So, mesenchymal cells eventually give rise to rounded cells called chondroblasts. No, these chondroblasts are then separated from one another because they produce the matrix. No, so kaka-produce nila ng matrix that they deposit outside of them, outside the cell, and then the matrix ends up uh, swelling because of the amount of water in the environment. Nagkakaroon ng separation of the chondroblasts, no? Okay? The chondroblasts then multiply within the matrix and give rise to isogenous groups. They eventually also differentiate into chondrocytes. Okay? So, yun yung nangyayari during chondrogenesis. Okay? So, summary of the different types of your cartilage. So, you have your hyaline, your elastic, and your fibro. Okay, tandaan, hyaline cartilage, important is your aggregan, which is for water binding. Sa elastic, you have elastic fibers. Sa collagen, sa fibrocartilage, you have collagen type 1. Okay? And the key thing to remember, your fibrocartilage does not have a perichondrium. Your hyaline and elastic cartilage do. Okay? And then you remember the locations and the functions of these three different types of cartilage. Okay? Your bone is the next type of tissue we'll discuss. No? So your bone is also part of your specialized connective tissue. Key difference between your cartilage and your bone, despite parehas magiging tough, your bone is rigid, hard, and calcified. Meanwhile, your cartilage is firm, it's tough, but it's also pliable. No? So itong bone, hindi siya pliable in the same sense. There's hard and strong. That's why their function is in protection and support. Okay, 'di ba yung bones natin, they serve as yung rib cage, no? It covers your lungs and your heart as well as the large vessels at the back of your body. Your skull covers your brain. So in the same manner, your bone is there for protection. Okay? Your bone also serves as a calcium reserve, di ba? Para malakas yung buto mo, you drink calcium. Because when you have calcium, excess will be stored into the bone. Okay? At the same time, kapag kailangan mo ng calcium for anything, when you are undergoing hypocalcemia, the bone can be resorbed. Okay? So, pwedeng kumuha ng calcium mula doon sa bony tissue para iangat yung calcium levels mo when you don't have enough. Okay? Your bone also functions in blood cell production, di ba? Kapag meron kang bulalo, yung gitna nun, that's the marrow. Marrow is the one responsible for producing your blood cells. No? So in the same manner with humans. So blood cell production is done in the bone marrow. And your bone also is there to help with movement. Di ba? Movement is not just muscle only. It also requires your bone to act as levers in order to facilitate the movement of the entire human organism. Okay? So, ano yung dahilan bakit hard and strong yung connective tissue ng bone? Because your bone undergoes calcification. No? There is deposition of inorganic material. Okay? So, and your bone matrix is special in that 50% of its dry weight is in fact inorganic material, the majority of which is calcium hydroxyapatite. Okay? Ito yung matigas na component ng bone natin. And it's also the most abundant. You also see calcium phosphate, other minerals. Okay? As far as organic material is concerned naman, your bone is made up of type 1 collagen, di ba? You can't spell bone without 1. So, type 1 collagen ang makikita natin sa bone. Okay? And you also see proteoglycans as well as glycoproteins. Okay? So, there are different types of cells seen in both, three of which are, we will mention, no? You have your osteocytes, your osteoblasts, and your osteoclasts. Okay, so dun muna tayo sa osteocytes, which is the parenchymal cell of your bone cell. So, ito yung main cell na bida sa bone mo. What do osteocytes look like? They look like small cells with many cytoplasmic processes extending into spaces of your bone called canaliculi. Okay? So, ito yung itsura ng osteocyte mo. You have this cell, meron siyang extensions na processes because these processes uh, go into the gaps of your bone. No? So, para sumisingit siya doon. Okay? And the gaps are called canaliculi. Okay? So, the function of your osteocytes is to deposit matrix and the matrix later calcifies. Okay? So, and the space wherein you find your osteocyte is also called as a lacuna. So, similar to the ones we mentioned earlier in your carbohydrates. Okay? Next, you have your osteoblasts. Okay? Blasts, ibig sabihin, these are immature forms of your osteocytes. But the function is generally similar. They synthesize and secrete organic matrix components and they eventually differentiate into osteocytes. Okay? They eventually differentiate into osteocytes. Okay? Appearance of your osteoblasts is that they look cuboidal or low columnar in shape. Okay? Next, sorry, you have your osteoclasts. Okay? Yung osteoclasts, hindi naman siya kasama dun sa lineage ng osteocytes and osteoblasts, no? These are derived from monocytes. So, para na naman siyang macrophage, di ba? Macrophage found in bone are your osteoclasts. They're responsible for bone remodeling after bone injury and repair, and also as well as and also the resorption of calcified bone matrix, no? So kapag nag-deposit ka ng calcium, pwede mo siyang i-resorb in order to increase your blood calcium levels. Okay? Next, so here is a diagram showing the relationship of the cells, no, in your newly formed bone, no? Newly formed bone is referred to as osteoid. Okay? So osteoid, yun yung sinisecrete ng osteoblasts mo, di ba? Osteoblasts are described as cuboidal to low columnar. They secrete osteoid, itong kulay yellow. Okay? Ng papasok sa bony matrix. The bony matrix is the one that calcifies eventually. Okay? You see in the matrix your osteocytes, which are the predominant cells of the tissue. Okay, they're located in spaces called lacunae. Okay, you also see osteoclasts, which are large multinucleated cells derived from blood monocytes. Okay, so next. So ito yung itsura in photomicrograph. You have your matrix, itong dark red, ay dark pink. Okay, this is the matrix. In the matrix, you see spaces called lacunae kung saan nakalagay yung ating mga osteocytes. And then, dito sa gilid, you see osteoblasts looking like simple cuboidal low columnar cells that secrete osteoid. Okay? So, your cells also have the covering called periosteum and endosteum. So, meron pa rin covering ng mga bones natin kahit ano na sila, kahit tough material na sila, no? So, the covering inside the bone against is called endosteum. Okay? Okay? It covers the trabeculae of your bony matrix. Makita nyo yung trabeculae nila yan later on. And you have your periosteum, the one that covers the outside of the bone. Okay? So, being dense connective tissue, this periosteum also has type 1 collagen, fibroblasts, and blood vessels. Okay? So let's discuss the different types of bone. No, you have four different types. You have compact bone, you have your spongy or cancellous bone, you have woven bone, and your lamellar bone. So ano muna yung compact bone? Compact bone is dense bone located beneath the periosteum. So ito usually nakikita mo sa border ng mga buto natin, no? Compact bone. Compact kasi pag in-x-ray mo siya, makikita mo, it's completely white out. Kasi punong-puno siya ng calcium. And calcium turns up very light on your x-ray, no? Turns up as white on your x-ray. So, it's compact, it's very dense. Area of bone beneath the periosteum because this one gives it the integrity or the toughness, no? Deep beneath the compact bone is the presence of your spongy or cancellous bone. So, yung bones natin, hindi sila solid calcium, no? Your bones are not solid calcium. They have the cancellous bone that consists of interconnecting cavities and a lot of blood vessels. So, yung bones natin are spongy because imagine mo kung yung bones mo ay all compact bone. Imagine mo lang, di ba? Gaano karaming calcium yan? Gaano siya kabigat? Okay, it's very heavy kung yung bone mo ay compact. You will be having difficulty moving. You will be expending a lot of energy just to move around because you have to lug around that weight. Kaya nga yung loob ng bones natin, they're mostly spongy para magaan lang siya. Okay? There is toughness on the outside pero yung loob niya is light. Okay? Because the bone inside is spongy. Okay? Next type of bone is your woven bone. Woven bone is immature bone seen when there is repair or osteogenesis. Okay? So, makikita natin to kapag kailangan mo nang i-replace yung hematoma ng fracture mo into fibrocartilaginous material and converted into woven bone. So, discuss natin yan later on. Okay? And then you have something called lamellar bone. This is when your bone is arranged concentrically, yung mga layers or lamellae niya, around small central canals called Haversian canals. Okay, so ito yung Haversian canal, tapos picture, merong surrounding layers called lamellae. Okay, so this is lamellar bone. So, ganito yung structure niya, no? You have this entire thing here, kasama yung Haversian canal, kasama yung lahat ng uh, layers of the lamella, no? And, sorry, you call the entire unit as an osteon. Okay, so you call the unit as osteon. Okay, when you zoom at the osteon, it has many layers, di ba? And within the layer, you have your blood supply. Okay? Between layers, you also see these things, these cells, no? These cells are uh, osteocytes. Okay? Osteocytes na dinescribe na natin kanina, merong processes, and these processes extend outwards, no, into the canalicular or small passages between your uh, bony lamellae. Okay? So, ganun yung itsura niya. Okay? Photomicrograph of your dense connectivity, dense or rather compact bone and your spongy bone, no? Cancellous bone. Sa compact bone, makita mo, punong-puno yung pagkakashade. Sa cancellous bone, there are spaces in between because that is for aerodynamics. Okay? So, next is the summary on the types of or organization of bone, no? Nasabi naman natin to kanina pa. Okay? Your bone has two different types of tissue. Two different types on which it is synthesized, no? Yung tinatawag nating osteogenesis, no? Kapag osteogenesis, di ba? Osteo means refers to the bone. So, osteogenesis, pag flat bones ang pinag-uusapan, usually it undergoes intramembranous ossification. Kapag long bones naman ang pinag-uusapan, you are referring to endochondral ossification. So, anong nangyayari in intramembranous ossification? The mesenchymal cells that are transformed into chondroblasts, chondroosteoblasts na pala kasi bone na pinag-uusapan natin, deposit osteoid that later becomes calcified, no? So, para rin siyang kanina, no? Gumagawa ng sarili matrix yung osteoblasts natin, okay? And then, that is intramembranous calcification. Kapag ossification, no? Kapag endochondral ossification naman, which you see in the formation of long bones, you have a hyaline cartilage that serves as a cartilage model, okay? The cartilage then proliferates and classifies, eventually being replaced by actual bone. Okay, so ganito yung itsura in osteogenesis. Ito pala. So, in osteogenesis, no, sabi natin, your hyaline cartilage serves as a template. Okay, so the fetal hyaline cartilage serves as a template for your skeleton. The skeleton the cartilage then later calcifies around the diaphysis, no, to form your periosteal bone collar. Okay? So eventually that will develop into a primary ossification center. That primary ossification center uh, uh, is the one at the center dun sa may diaphysis, no? Pero magkakaroon din ng development later on ng secondary ossification centers at either ends of the long bone, no? And eventually, kaka-replace mo ng ossification center sa gitna, sa taas, at sa baba, you will be just left with the epiphyseal plate. Okay, so this epiphyseal plate, siya yung responsible nga, di ba? Siya yung nagde-determine ng height mo. So, kung magsasara siya agad, diyan ka na lang dun sa height na yon. Pero kung later siya magsasara, you are likely to be a taller individual. Okay? So, you have your epiphyseal plate here. Meron ka pang hyaline cartilage. Once the epiphyseal plate has been closed, ang matitira na lang sa'yo is your epiphyseal line. Okay? Ganito yung itsura in endochondral ossification. Okay? So, some of the images that you want to remember, there are here. You have the matrix, yung osteoblasts mo na sa gilid, serving as, uh, uh, kasi di ba, they resemble columnar or short, cuboidal or short columnar sets. Okay? And then, you have the image of, for your uh, diarthrotic joints, di ba? You have articular cartilage here, another articular cartilage here. Sa baba ng cartilage area mong usual is your epiphyseal plate. So, yan yung hyaline cartilage portion found in the upper respiratory tract. Ay, sorry, respiratory tract. Hindi pala naisip ko cartilage pala. So, you found in the ends of your long bones. Okay? Nantok na ako. So, what happens when your bones get damaged? There are also mechanisms of repair. Okay, so mechanism of bone fracture repair first starts with the formation of a fracture hematoma because because your bone is rife with blood vessels inside the cavity inside of it, di ba? Compact bone, yung nasa labas, yung sa loob spongy, and the spongy bone has a lot or marrow has a lot of blood vessels. So kapag nagkaroon ka ng fracture, mapipigtal yung mga blood vessels, magkakaroon ng a lot of a lot of bleeding, no? And that bleeding forms a fracture hematoma. Okay? That fracture hematoma is then eventually removed by macrophages gradually to form your fibrocartilaginous or your soft callus. Okay? Kapag yung fibro or soft callus mo, nag-calcify na siya, it starts to calcify to form your hard callus, then there will be a hard or bony callus formation that occurs in where the fibrocartilaginous callus used to be. Okay, so i-replace niya from fibrocartilage to uh, primary bone, no? So, and then this, or your woven bone. And then eventually, this woven bone will be remodeled into areas of compact and cancellous bone. No? So yun yung nangyayari. It will look generally the same but not 100% as it previously was before the fracture. Okay? So, na-discuss na natin yung cartilage, na-discuss na natin yung skeletal system. Now, let's discuss the joints. Okay? So, your joints, uh, these are the places where your adjacent points meet. They are cupped together and held together by connective tissue. So, you have two bones, no? Yung area between them is your joint. Okay? And the one that connects uh, is the tissue. Okay? Is connective tissue. Okay? So your joints have two major types. Yung synarthrosis, yung hindi ganong nagagalaw, and then your diarthrosis, the ones that are freely movable. No? As far as synarthrosis are concerned, you have three major subtypes. Your synostosis, yung nakikita natin sa skull sutures natin, sa mga bata din, di ba? Makakapamo pa. Your syndesmosis, which are joined by dense connective tissue. So itsura na. And then you have your symphysis, which is a thick pad of fibrocartilage located uh, in the pubic symphysis and intervertebral discs. Okay? Next, doon naman tayo sa freely movable joints. You have your diarthrosis. So diarthrosis considered yung major joints natin. The joints of the knee, the elbow, the ligaments, sa may sacroiliac joint, etc. Those are diarthrosis because these joints are able to be moved freely. Okay? So next, let's look at the structure of the synovial joint or yung type of joint na usually mo makikilala, no? Sabi natin, you have bone letter A, you have bone letter B. The cartilage that caps them is the articular cartilage. Okay? The cartilage that caps them is the articular cartilage. Covering this, so yung space in between is filled up by synovial fluid, and this synovial fluid is secreted by this purple structure. Okay? This purple structure is referred to as the synovial membrane. Okay? So the synovial membrane is the one responsible for producing the synovial fluid that allows lubrication between the two bones. Okay? And then covering all of that is your articular capsule. Okay? Yung kaninang synovial membrane is actually part of the articular capsule. Above the synovial membrane or superficial to the synovial membrane is a fibrous layer that will also protect the joint. Okay? So, itsura niya in photomicrograph form. Okay? You have bone A, you have bone B, You see the epiphyseal plate, no? So, ang paligid niya is of course your joint capsule or articular capsule. The articular capsule containing the fibrous layer as well as the synovial membrane. Okay? In the middle is your synovial membrane containing synovial fluid. Okay? Next. So, we have two special types of cells na kailangan nating tandaan as far as your bones are concerned. You have your type A cells, your joints para rather are concerned. You have your type A cells and your type B cells. Okay, your type A cells are macrophage-like synovial cells. So macrophage-like, ibig sabihin, galing din sila sa monocytes. They also have phagocytic activity. And their function, of course, is to remove the wear and tear of organ and debris from the synovial fluid. Okay, so para silang macrophage, sila ay also cleanup crew. They also regulate inflammatory events in diarthrotic joints. So, kasi sa joints natin, maraming stresses. So, madalas magkaroon ng inflammation. Okay? Next, you have your type B cells or your fibroblastic synovial cells. Okay? So, your fibroblastic synovial cells, being fibroblastic, is there to produce ECM. Okay, so it produces abundant amounts of hyaluronan and smaller amounts of proteoglycans when necessary. Okay, so yun yung tatandaan nating cells dito sa joints. Okay, type A cells being macrophage-like and type B cells being fibroblastic. Okay,